You know, we're all taught that a team that agrees is a team that's working, right? Perfect harmony, everyone on the same page, that's the dream. But what if that dream is actually a nightmare in disguise? What if that quiet, agreeable meeting room is one of the most dangerous places your company can be?
Seriously, just think about that for a minute. That super efficient meeting, the one where everybody's nodding along and decisions get made in record time, could that be the very thing that's setting you up for failure? We're going to dig into this counterintuitive idea today, the absolutely dangerous price of consensus. So let's talk about this illusion of agreement. It looks real, it feels real, but it's often a mirage. Picture a product launch that just completely bombs. Looking back, you find out that in every single meeting, everyone said it was a fantastic idea. Nobody spoke up, nobody wanted to be that person who rocked the boat. Well, that's the illusion, and it's a really expensive one. And here's the core of it. When you see that easy, universal agreement, it's not what you think. It's not a sign that you've achieved perfect alignment. Nope, it's actually what's left over after all the interesting, challenging, and maybe even game-changing ideas have been quietly removed from the conversation. It's a symptom, not a victory. This is when things really start to go south. You slip into a state we can call dangerous consensus. And what happens here is subtle but devastating. The team's goal isn't to find the best possible answer anymore. The goal is just to agree. The mission shifts from pursuing truth to just avoiding friction, and that is a huge problem.
All right, so how do you even know if this is happening to you? How can you spot this silent threat on your own team? Well, the good news is there are some pretty clear red flags you can start looking for.
As I list these out, I really want you to think about your last few meetings. Be honest. Do any of these hit a little too close to home? Because this is where the rubber meets the road.
Okay, first up, strategy meetings where nobody really argues. That's a huge warning sign. Then you've got metrics that are always, conveniently, green. Are you sure you're even measuring the hard stuff? Listen to the language people use. When you hear a decision being justified with, "we're all aligned," instead of, "this is urgent," you're in the danger zone. And finally, watch the leaders. Are they putting off a tough but necessary call just to keep everyone happy?
So you're seeing some of the signs. You might be thinking, okay, so what? What's the big deal? Well, this is where we get to the actual cost. And believe me, the price you pay for this fake harmony is way higher than you think.
This lays out the trade-off perfectly. Look, on the one hand, yeah, when everyone agrees, executing the plan can feel pretty stable and smooth. That's the benefit. But look at what you're giving up. Your reaction speed, your ability to pivot, to change course, to react to the market. You're basically trading your agility for comfort. And in the world we live in now, is that a trade you can really afford to make? And let's be super clear about this. The problem isn't just that you're moving a little slower than your competitors. The real cost is that your whole organization starts to become rigid, brittle. The very muscles you need to debate, to innovate, to adapt, they start to waste away because you never use them. And this is where it gets really personal and really systemic. Think about it. When people look around and see that the ones getting promoted are the ones who just nod and agree, the whole system just locks itself into this downward spiral. Suddenly, challenging the status quo isn't seen as being helpful, it's a career-limiting move. And at that point, your organization has basically lost its immune system.
So, is it hopeless? No way. But we have to completely change the goal. We have to stop chasing harmony and start embracing something I like to call productive discomfort.
Just let that idea sit with you for a second. We throw around the word alignment like it's the holy grail. But what if, most of the time, all it really means is that nobody's feeling uncomfortable, that nobody is asking the tough questions? The correct answer, the best answer, is almost always found on the other side of a difficult conversation.
And look, this isn't about creating chaos or encouraging arguments just for fun. The goal here is totally strategic. It's about generating just enough tension, just enough discomfort to force everyone to think a little deeper. Because that process, that almost always leads to stronger, faster, and way more resilient decisions.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this is great, but what can I actually do about it tomorrow morning? Well, it can all start with one single powerful question.
This is it. This is the simple filter you can run any meeting, any decision, any moment of easy agreement through. It's your protection against falling into that consensus trap.
And there you have it. The next time you're in a room and you see everyone's heads bobbing up and down in agreement, just pause. Ask this question. even if it's just to yourself. Is all this agreement actually a tool that's making us faster and better, or is it really just a shield we're all hiding behind to avoid a conflict we know we need to have? The answer to that? Well, the answer could change everything.